Hello everyone and welcome to episode 34 of Let's Play Wall Street Raider. I'm RakeM, your host. Today we hope to take over the integrated oil industry. But before we can do that, we got to deal with a problem, and that problem is that we have a deficit of cash. We just don't have enough cash to do it. So we got to raise some money before we can take over the integrated oil industry. So in the last episode, we started to go through our My Corporations list and go through all the companies that had earnings that were declining. And we got as far as Enzo, and Enzo had a bunch of subsidiaries that we had to deal with that slowed us down, and so we didn't get through the rest of the list. But that's something that we'll revisit hopefully by the end of this episode. But in the meantime, we've got kind of a perfect storm, 3 different factors that are working against us, that 2 of them are out of our control, and the third one, there's nothing we can do about it now, but it's our own fault for putting ourselves in the situation. And basically what it is the interest rate has been high for quite a while, and it got up above 12%. So we started doing swaps, and we started paying off debt and buying bonds, and we went all in on the bonds. We basically invested all the money we had in the bonds, and the interest rate has continued to go up. So as a result, we don't have as much cash as we need to take advantage of the opportunities that currently exist. The first opportunity is silver. Its price has gone way down. It's at its historic low, all-time low, and I would love to buy some additional silver futures and physical silver, and we just don't have the money to do it. Second is that our swaps are now losing money because the interest rate is above the rate at which we agreed to pay in our long swaps. Now our short swaps are doing great, but overall, I think the only entity we have that has short swaps is the bank. All of the insurance companies have long swaps, and so all of the insurance companies are losing money and don't have the cash anymore. What they're making off the bonds is barely enough to cover what they're spending on these swaps. So the fact that the interest rate is now 13% is basically, not sending us into bankruptcy, but we're not getting any cash every month like we used to. The third thing is that, what is the third thing? Okay, so interest rate, silver, and we bought all the bonds. So that's all 3. So basically we're going to have to come up with some cash from somewhere in order to take over the integrated oil industry. Now, in previous versions of the game, I would simply merge a company with the bank and take my cash out of these options. So, for instance, I would have SunTrust merge with Tokyo Marine and Fire, and when that would happen, in versions 6.5 and earlier, these options would immediately be cashed out. But when I started this episode today, I found out that that's not the case in this version of the game. So what we're going to do is I'm going to sell off these 2. These are the ones that I'm vested. These ones that have asterisks, I can't do anything with those until they're a year old. So in March or April I can do something with this third one. But for right now, the only 2 that I can sell are these top 2. Now that's a good amount of money, $270 billion, but it's not everything that we need. So, I don't know what we're going to do as far as raising cash. I really don't know what we're going to do. I'm basically going to have to wait for more income to come in off of the bonds or something. Okay, but it is February 17th, and on March 31st or April 1st, we'll get bond income at all of the insurance companies, and if we're lucky, the interest rate will go down between now and then. So I have updated my spreadsheet to get my target prices, hoping that maybe I could sell off some stocks and raise some cash that way. So I went through and I marked all the ones that had above a 20% market share in their industry, and all the ones that do are highlighted in pink here. The ones that are green have less than 20%, so we wouldn't really be looking to sell those yet. And I went through each one of these pink ones, and none of them are ready to sell. There's some that are almost there, as in terms of like they're 75% of the way there, but none of them are all the way there. So we may have to sacrifice some potential profit in order to raise some cash. I don't like doing that. So basically what our plan is we're going to wait until April 1st and see what we can do, see what happens with the interest rate and the price of silver. And if they go up, then we'll cash out. Another thing I can do is I can sell off my gold. I wouldn't profit very much from it, but if this interest rate stays high, gold's going to keep going down. So anyway, we also have, when I did my research, we have some companies that have interest rate swaps. These that are highlighted in yellow have interest rate swaps. Okay, and the other color coding here, just so you know what's going on, the ones that are purple, Eddie Bauer, ST, and Xilinx, those three companies have a combined 50% market share in their various industries. ST and Xilinx are both in semiconductor, and combined they have 50%. And Eddie Bauer is in retail apparel, I think, and he has a 49% share. So we definitely want to keep an eye on those, make sure they don't become monopolies. The black ones, they're all in the integrated oil industry. We don't intend to sell those. And the white are all holding companies with no operating assets. They just have cash or commodities or some non-business asset type holdings of some kind. Okay, so that's what my spreadsheet's about. So we're going to go and cancel these. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and sell off my options. And I'm probably going to buy Citigroup from the bank. No probably about it. I'm going to buy Citigroup from the bank and contribute everything, all of my cash except what I need to pay my taxes from selling the options. And then I'm going to have Citigroup buy silver. And we're going to hope for this price to go up between now and April 1st, so that we can take some cash out of it. And if that doesn't happen, the interest rate doesn't go down and the price of silver doesn't go up, then I'll probably cash out my gold, because I have $500 billion in my gold futures and physical gold. And I won't take a loss on it. I'll take a little bit of a profit, maybe. Depends on what the transaction fees are, basically, because I bought it at like $7.60. So we'll see what happens there. But basically, it won't be any profit, to speak of. It might be a few percent. That's it. And I hate to do that, but we're in a cash crunch and we need the money. So you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere. I would love to take my money out of the options, but unfortunately, this version of the game just won't let you do it. So, all right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sell off those call options of STI. All right, so starting with this one. And I'm going to have to pay interest, or not interest, I'm going to have to pay taxes based on the individual rate. Okay, and this will, basically STI has to buy it back. So the cash I'm going to get is going to come straight out of STI's cash reserves. Okay, which is not ideal either, because he only has $1 trillion worth of assets. I mean, worth of cash. All right, so let's do that again. All right. So now I have almost $300 billion, $280 billion. So now I'm going to buy Citigroup from the bank. All right, now I need to see what I owe in taxes. Let's see. Okay, 184 billion. Wow. And by the way, bankruptcies, we're mostly going to just be selling these bankruptcies off. We don't have the cash to move around and to pay off the debt that these bankrupt companies are holding. So we're mostly just going to be selling them off now. All right, so I have 106 billion. So I'm going to give that to Citigroup. And that means if these commodities go wrong for me some more, I'm going to end up with a loan, but hopefully it won't be that much. I've got enough credit to last me for a little while. All right, now let's have Citigroup buy some silver. And I'm going to have him buy 25,000 so that he doesn't go into debt, or at least not a lot of debt. All right, now the next thing I want to do, we need to cancel those swaps, and then I want to have somebody, not sure who, do some new swaps, as many as he can now that the interest rate's at 13%. All right, so the first company that has a interest rate swap that we need to cancel is BP. Okay, next is Costco. All right, Dr. Pepper. Enzo is next. All right, let's see who else. Nortel. Telefonica. And Warner Lambert. Okay, we terminated 2 contracts each, so we should be able to do another 15, maybe 30 of these, depending on how many companies entered the game since last episode. And we also sold off Siemens and something else, so we should be able to pick those up or do swaps with them as well. All right, so the question is, who do we want to engage in the swaps? And I know Hartford has swaps and Irish has swaps. So I think maybe Swiss. He's got a good amount of cash. He must have been one of the ones that sold something. So let's see what he has in terms of swaps. Nothing. Alright, so we'll have him do the swaps then. Alright, so what I'm going to do is have him do as many swaps as he can, and I'll be right back. Now that that's done, you'll notice that the price of gold has gone up to 930. So I'm going to go ahead and cash in my futures and physical gold. And I'm going to do the same for Berkshire Hathaway, because we're going to need that cash to take over the oil industry. So I am going to trade commodities and sell my gold. Okay, that's how much my gain was, just a little bit, not a lot, a little bit more than 10%. And let's go over to futures and I'll sell those too. Alright, now let's go to Berkshire Hathaway and do the same. He bought it at a lower price, so he got a bigger profit. But still only, what, not even 20%. But that's just the way it is. We need the money, unfortunately. Alright, so we have $1 trillion here in Berkshire Hathaway, which is good because he now has enough to buy the stocks that we need to take over the oil industry. And I'm going to go ahead and pay my taxes and give the balance to Citigroup so that he can buy 25,000 more silver. Alright, so another 51 billion. Alright, so I'm going to give 300 billion of this to Citigroup. Alright, and let's pay off Citigroup's loan too. I think he has one. Yeah. Alright, let's see what he's got left. 100 billion. Alright, and Berkshire Hathaway, I don't remember. I think he has physical silver. Yeah, okay, he does. Alright, so we're going to hang on to the silver. And now let's go check on the oil industry and see if we're ready to take it over now or if we still have to wait. And we still have to wait. I want him down to basically 200% or less. So if this comes down to 800 billion, then we're ready to go. So his price needs to be at 28 or 29. Call it 29. That's where we need it to be. So what we're going to do while we're waiting is we're going to resume what we were doing last episode and going through all of our stocks here to see whose earnings are going down and whether or not there's something we can do anything to help them. And looks like we've got a couple here. Let's go over to the bank and see how many bankruptcies he's got. Okay, now, because we're cash poor and because we don't really need to pick up any new stocks, I'm primarily going to be selling these off. But going by our list, if the industry that these are in, if it's a green industry where we don't have a 20% share, we'll go ahead and take them, providing they're bargains in terms of their stock price. And if they're in an industry where we're in the pink, then we're just going to sell it off, regardless of what they have. So, for instance, Shishido, apparently he's a holding company. So we don't give a crap about him. Let's sell him off. Okay, here we have more than 20%. So we're just going to sell him off too. $11 billion to bankrupt Toshiba. And he's in computer peripherals. Alright, so let's sell off this one. Alright, securities. We've got 25%, so we don't need any more. So we're just going to sell these two off. Okay, so Hyundai Electric. We've got a big enough market share already. Actually, we've got too big a market share. It may be time to sell him off, but I mean, he's making such good money. It's so hard to do, especially since he's not trading at 500%. His earnings are still going up. He's very capable. Maybe we should sell Xilinx. Let's see what we would get. So we got a 50% increase here. Let's go ahead and sell them off and start growing again. And we need to have the bank sell off this one. Okay, here we got a big enough market share, so we'll just sell those off. Probably the same thing with Nordstrom. Nope, we don't have a big market share here, so we'll have SoftBank buy them. Of course, he's running low on money. Let's see who owns him. Alright, good, because Swiss is one of the few that has money, so let's buy Nordstrom and liquidate him. lot of bankruptcies. Okay. So he needs a minimum of $2 billion, but let's make it 3. And his earnings are still going up, so that's good. And we can continue this growth rate. Returns are excellent, so. Alright, so let's go back to the bank. Alright, Toshiba's the only one left. And he's got some stocks as well, so let's see what we want to do here. Okay, so we definitely want to merge these two, but we may have to give Nick some money first. So let's see. How much of Toshiba do we own? 100%? So we need $6 billion to buy him. And he doesn't have that, so let's see if Tokyo can give it to him. Yep. Alright, now let's see what we want to do with Westinghouse. Wow, he's way low. Let's get him too. All right, we're going to offer 32% because his stock was trading at 75% of its value. So at 32%, we're only 7% over his net worth. And they accepted, so that's good. Now we can liquidate him. We're reasonably competent, so we probably need to up our R&D. And we need to pay off our loan too. So we'll have Swiss give us, call it 23 billion. And we need to make sure that we don't have any swaps. Oh, that's unfortunate. No improvement. Of course, it could be worse. It could say it's becoming a disaster. Alright, so that's Enzo. And the other one that we just liquidated was what? What was the other one we just did? Did Westinghouse, Toshiba, into NEC. Okay, so let's go over to NEC and make sure that we don't have any swaps on him. Alright, good. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go down this list and help anybody that has earnings that are declining. So starting with Amway. Now we hit him last time, but I don't remember if we did anything. I think we froze someone. Yeah, we froze Procter & Gamble and Colgate-Palmolive, and we froze Warner Lambert too, but we own him now, So, the question is, what do we do at this point? The returns aren't that great. So I guess we should stop growing at 60%, and we need to somehow merge these. How much is Warner Lambert worth? $80 billion. And he's owned by Leonard. And Amway is worth $20 billion, and he's owned by Swiss. So he's got enough money to buy Warner Lambert. So let's do that. Let's buy Warner Lambert and merge these two. Alright, so now he needs another 11 billion. Call it 12. Actually, call it 13. Alright, so we're growing at -10, which we don't need to do. We're going to just make this 1%. We're going to give him a dividend because he's earning money. And he's very capable, so 6% on the R&D is fine. So 1% would be 90 cents. So 90 cents, 6%, and 1%. Okay. Now the question is, are his earnings up? And they look like they're going way up now. So that's all we need to do for him. Let's make sure he doesn't have swaps as a result of that merger, and he doesn't. That's good. He lost money somewhere, but I guess maybe... Oh yeah, Warner Lambert had swaps that we just canceled at the beginning of the episode, so... Alright, so he's good. So next up... Good. Alright, Best Foods. Alright, he's a minor factor and he's losing a lot of money because he must be grossly incompetent. Now, Nestle and Frito-Lay, of course Frito-Lay is owned by somebody, but Nestle is a bargain. Of course he's losing money too, but has a nice market share. So I think what we want to do is we want to buy Nestle, and let's see how much of Frito-Lay is owned. 100%. All right. So Nestle is 91% public. All right. Now we are. Who owns Best? Because I don't want to spend a lot of money if we don't have to. We're already at March 15th, and he's going to get about $66 billion on this these bonds in interest. So how much does it cost to buy Nestle? That's the question. 30 billion. Oh, I hate having to make these tough decisions. It's so much easier when you have money. So much easier when you have money everywhere. Do I want to do it now or wait? That's the question. If it was 10 billion, I'd just go ahead. But I don't like increasing debt anywhere right now with the interest rate this high. And we're going to need the money over in the oil industry. Well, no, we're not, because Berkshire has enough. And ZDNet's got everything he needs except for one, and that's Arab. And he's got enough credit for to buy that, so I guess we can go ahead and do this. So let's see. We'll have Tokyo buy Nestle. And he's trading so low, we can go ahead and buy the other shareholders out. We'll offer 30%. Alright, now we'll contribute best to him. And liquidate best. Okay, now he's grossly incompetent. He has swaps. And General Mills is growing at too high a rate. So what we're going to do, we're going to cancel the swaps, change his management, increase his R&D to 25%, and freeze General Mills. Alright, so let's do all those. Alright, now let's see what... oh, he's got some commodities. Let's see what those are. So he's got corn. He's got to have more than that. Look at this. Mark to market. He must have physical. Okay, yeah, he's got gold. And the price is up, so let's get rid of that too. Alright, and we'll put that toward the loan. Alright, so now we need to freeze General Mills and also Frito-Lay. Okay. A lot of bankruptcies all of a sudden. Alright, so let's go back here and see if there's anything else we need to do. Doesn't look like it. Nope, all that's good. Alright, so STI is picking up bankruptcy after bankruptcy, so let's go take a look. And we still need to give Amway a dividend. Alright, these ones where I don't own 100%, I'm just going to sell those off. Alright, Shanghai Refrigerator I think has already a major market share, so we're just going to sell Whirlpool. Alright, Concentric can pick up these three, and that'll put them over 20%, which would be good. Alright, so Pacific Care, Bottom Line Health, and Oxford Health. We'll have Concentric buy all three of those. And now we'll liquidate them. Okay, let's give them another $5 billion. Alright, we need to bring down our growth to 6%. And if we need to adjust our dividend, we will, but the R&D is fine. So we're currently at 7%, we're almost to 11, so let's increase this to 11 cents. We're making plenty of money, well above that. So okay. I don't know how I got there. Okay, so here we go. So Mattel's the only one left, and we have Bell and Howell there, which has a good enough market share. So we'll just sell Mattel off. And just when we were done, here comes another one. But I'm pretty sure we're going to sell that one too. Yep. So Mazda and Rolls-Royce. Who owns Rolls-Royce? Because he wasn't in the list of stocks owned by STI. NatWest Bank, how do we own that? How do we own Oh, we don't own it. Was it mistaken when it had a P on there? Yeah, see, now it doesn't. Okay. So apparently we owned it for a minute and then we sold something that we lost control, but it hadn't updated yet. So, okay. See, in the same industry? Yeah. So we're going to sell those both off. Okay. Let's go over and check and see. ZDNet's price is up. But the question is Arab's down? It's down ever so slightly. And they're going to declare earnings. Well, not ZDNet, but everybody else in that industry is going to declare earnings in the middle of April. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Arab's price after that next declaration. So let's just keep working our list until we get to Arab's next earnings report. So we were going to give Amway a dividend, which should be 90 cents. Okay, we already did it. Okay, good. All right, so fine. BP, we don't care. Citigroup is up. All right, here, Daewoo. So let's take a look here. We are a minor factor. We're growing. return's not that great. Who owns Daewoo? Zurich, and Zurich has how much cash? 100 billion. Okay. So we can have, we can buy whatever this one is, Komatsu, I think, and that would give us a 26% market share. We would eliminate his dividend and his debt. Let's see how big he is. 8 billion? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so Zurich. We'll buy Komatsu. All right, easing money policy, thank goodness. It would be nice if it says easing and not neutral. Wonderful. All right, let's buy the rest of Komatsu, and then we'll see if we can do just a few more swaps here. All right, let's try 28%. All right, he needs 15 billion. All right, so he needs a dividend of 28 if he's making money. And he should be. Change our growth rate to 1. Our R&D to 16. And let's cancel the swaps. What did I say the dividend needed to be? 28. All right, before this interest rate goes down any further, I'm going to see if Zurich can do any long swaps. Okay, so we got 17, 34, 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 42, which is more than I expected. With any luck, this will go down to 8% by the time we reach the end of the month, or the end of April. Man, his price keeps going up. Just keeps going up. Is he losing money or making money? He's losing money, so why is his price going up? He was at 44 just 2 weeks ago. all these guys have swaps, so their prices are going to come down. God, I just hate that. All right, I don't think we're going to realize our dream of getting the oil industry under our control this episode. And look at that, he's up even more. So I'm not going to worry about it the rest of this episode. I'm just going to go through my list and help everybody else out. So let's go through the rest of these. All right, so let's see. We just picked up him up in a bankruptcy. So we did Concentric. Costco is up. And I guess we need to deal with the bankruptcies. You just got to be happy with multitasking in this game. There's just no getting around it. Okay, so Petrofina we control already. Or, yeah, we do, because we got this one. Okay, so let's have ZDNet buy this 21% from Jardine. Alright, and now let's go back to Jardine and see what the other one was. It was Ingersoll Rand, but I don't remember what industry he's in. Capital goods, I think, yep. Alright, so here we have Ruhr, and the returns are way down. So everybody's going like gangbusters. Of course, all these guys are brand new. All these guys are brand new. They're just into the game. And you can tell that from their credit ratings and the amount that they're growing. So, for instance, Ingersoll Rand. See how it's all zeros? He didn't exist until last month or last quarter. Alright, so what do we want to do with him? I don't think we want to keep him. Wrong button. We've got 16%, so we could use some more. Alright, who owns Ruhr? Hartford? Does Hartford have cash? He does. So we'll have Hartford buy Ingersoll Rand. Contribute him to Ruhr and liquidate him. Alright, we're going to back off our growth rate to 8%. We're reasonably competent, so we'll make this 8% also. Actually, no, we better leave it at 12. And dividend-wise, 9 cents. Alright, now do we want to keep Jardine Matheson? That's the question. And I'm guessing we do not. So we'll just sell him off. I'd liquidate him, but we actually get more money out of selling him. Alright, so Credit Suisse. And he's a holding company too. Ooh, he's got a lot of stocks. Alright, starting with Hewlett Packard. Alright, so we're at 36% here. Hewlett Packard is trading at too high a price, so we don't really want him. We could take some of his assets, though. So we could buy 60 billion worth. Who is the other company here? Panasonic? Alright, let's let Zurich contribute 60 billion to Panasonic. And have Panasonic buy 60 billion worth of assets from HP. Oh, it's HWP. Or maybe not. Let's look him up. HPQ. I'll remember that one day. Okay. So now we got a whole bunch of assets. And we're 25%. And Hewlett-Packard can afford to pay off his loan. And we can afford to make him grow negative. Of course, he already is. So what do we want Panasonic to do? It's growing at 7, which is fine. He's reasonably competent, so we can need to increase his R&D to 8. Oh wait, that's Hewlett-Packard. We need to go back over to Panasonic. Panasonic is reasonably competent and already spending 8, so that's good. Alright, so 8%, 7% is fine. And what about dividend? Should be 88 cents. So let's increase it. Let's make sure we're earning that much, and we are. Alright, back to Hewlett-Packard. He's not 100% owned. Trading at a high premium. Just trying to think what he'll do if we sell him off. If he'll jump his growth rate or not. And if he will, it would be better for us to just go ahead and buy the rest of these assets from him. Okay, I think we need to interrupt what we're doing because we've got an opportunity that we don't want to miss. The interest rate just went down, and it's March 31st. So the bank and the insurance companies are all about to declare their earnings. And I think that means we're going to have a spike in the price. So we need to do some stock index futures. So the price right now is 39,117. And if we get a 25% increase, so 49,000 is what we would be looking to sell it at. And I think we'll get a quick hit over the next 30 days for that much. So I'm going to do some futures, and I'm also going to have all 5 insurance companies do futures in the stock index. And I think I'll just do like 10 each. And it would be nice if Arab was the counterparty on some of those, so I think we need to unfreeze his loan so that he is a counterparty on some of them. So we'll come back to Panasonic and Hewlett-Packard and what we're going to do in this industry, but we gotta act on this quick before April 4th when the bank declares. Alright, so I'm going to do 10 transactions on this, and then I'll go to each of the insurance companies and do 10 for each of those. I don't know how many contracts we're going to get, but I guess first I need to unfreeze Arab first. So let me go to the bank. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to unfreeze, I'm going to buy stock index futures, and we're going to look to sell it at 49,000. And I'm going to fast forward while I put all those in, and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, I did 10 transactions for me, 10 for each of the insurance companies, and during all of those, only one of them had Arab as the counterparty. So I went ahead and tried 10 more with Berkshire Hathaway, and none of those were with Arab. So I'm going to go over to Citigroup and see if he has any money to do it with, and he does. So we're going to do 10 more with Citigroup and hope that Arab is the counterparty on some of those. I did have to do some borrowing, but the index is already on the way up, so we should be able to pay that back. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to get a spike and then the index will drop back down to the high 30,000s, or the interest rate will fall to like 9%, in which case this will probably go above 50,000. But it really just depends on this policy. If it goes to neutral, then the interest rates will still be high. They'll be like in the 10 to 11% range, like they were the last time we went through this, where we got the policy or the notice that it was easing, but the interest rate remained high. And I suspect that that's going to happen again, that this is going to go to neutral, and then we'll have to wait like maybe a quarter before it'll go to easing again and we get any kind of relief. So we're basically going to look to sell it at the 49,000 to 50,000 range, and the second that it starts to drop, we need to cover all of those, and then when the policy changes again, we'll look to reinvest in some more index futures. So I'm going to go ahead and buy have Citigroup buy futures, and we're going to hope that Arab is the counterparty on some of those. So I'll fast forward real quick and I'll be right back. Well, I kept going all the way to 13, hoping that Arab would be the counterparty, but he wasn't the counterparty on any of them, so he just has the one. And I actually want to put Arab on this list here. because when his price hits 29 or even 35, we're going to go ahead and take over the industry. So I want to be able to keep a constant eye on it. Why are we seeing this? How do I own Credit Suisse? Oh, okay. So alright, so we got some unwinding to do still here. So first of all, Credit Suisse Bank. Let's see. He doesn't have any stock and he's bankrupt, so we'll sell him off. Alright, and basically we're just going to finish going through all of Credit Suisse Holdings stuff. We're going to come back to Hewlett-Packard when we get done with the rest of these, because some of these are going to put us in a monopoly status, because this is a holding company too, and only God knows what he's got. So since we've been going for over an hour now, we're just going to clean this up, and then we'll come back to our My Corporations list in the next episode. So Creative Technologies, he's in computer peripherals. We have NEC there, and he's trading at too high a price, but his debt situation is pretty bad. So let's see how much we've got here. We probably have enough to buy all of his assets. Well, we'd have to borrow a little bit. Alright, so let's liquidate him. Alright. And we don't care if Credit Suisse goes broke here. So that's why I'm not concerned about whether I'm liquidating or selling off here. Alright, we got too much of a market share here. So we just need to sell off PCH. Alright, Daewoo Group. He's in textiles, which is pretty small. He's got a 20% share and it's only worth $4 billion. So there's only $20 billion in the whole industry. So we'll just sell him off, plus he's bankrupt. A lot of banks going broke. All these, this interest rate's just taking its toll on them all. Alright, Honda. And we've got Daewoo Motors here. His return's pretty good, but he's trading at too high a price. And his credit's real bad. Let's see how big he is. Ooh, 67 billion, plus he's got stocks. Okay, so this is the parent of all the Hondas. Okay, 67 billion. Let's see what we want to do. Daewoo is 1/10 the size. He's owned by Irish, who had to borrow a lot of money because he lost money on the swaps. So if we want to have him buy the assets, I got to borrow more money here. But that should be okay. We should be able to do it without a problem. So let's contribute to Daewoo Motors. 70 billion. SunTrust's earnings are down, despite having made $500 billion on interest rate swaps, but we had some real big bankruptcies that we took losses on. So, not that surprising, really. Oh, here we go. The market has rallied to 48,000. So, now we got to keep a real close eye on this, and if it starts to go down at all, we need to cover it. Alright, so Daewoo's going to buy assets from Honda. That'll give us 20% market share. And we can buy assets from Shanghai Automotive as well. Okay. Now our earnings are going way up. And that just started to drop, didn't it? It was at 48,590, wasn't it? Okay, time to sell all of our futures. I'll do that real quick and I'll be right back. Looks like we made the right decision to sell those because the index dropped 2,000 points while we were selling those off. And here's the earnings for Hartford. Curious to see if the extraordinary income. So even though it says 10,000 up here, we actually made a total of 121 billion. So everybody's got cash again, so that's good. And gold's going up despite the interest rate. Probably go up some more too. I think what I'm going to do before I go back over and finish with those other companies is I'm going to sell short the index and I'm going to buy gold. I'm not going to have anybody else do it, and I don't know if I'm going to buy a lot of the index or sell short a lot of the index, just do one transaction and see how I do. So I've never sold the index short before, so let's see. Okay, and here's Tokyo. He made 64 billion. He made 128 off of the index. I thought TMFI had... the swaps don't start yet. They start next quarter. So they're going to start now. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to trade futures of the index, and I'm going to sell it short. Alright, so no takers at 10,000, 5,000, 2,500. Wow. I thought for sure when I sold it short somebody would want to take it. 7 contracts. Well, that's hardly worth it. But we'll do it just as an experiment to see what it's like. Okay. Gold. And let's buy it. 1591 it's going to make it. Wow, they expect it to grow 50% over the next 5 years. It's searching for a counterparty? That's unusual. Okay, it's kind of iffy doing these because they want a price of $1,600 in the next 5 years. So I'm going to stop here, but I am going to buy physical the full amount. Well, maybe not. So I only have 800 billion, and I'm going to owe tax. And at this price, it would probably cost about 600 billion. So I'm going to stop here. All right, Zurich, 211 billion. I don't remember if he had any swaps or not. I think he does, but I don't know if they're that much. Doesn't list it, so. Alright, so I'm going to pay off my loan. And let's prepay my tax also. So I'm going to owe 322, and I have already paid 235. So let's put another 90 billion on there. All right, and let's go to Irish Life and have him do the same. All right, Swiss made 56 billion, but off of the swaps, off the stock index futures, he made an extra 200 billion. So he's only got 93 billion, and he owes twice that. And he hasn't declared. So let's just go ahead and pay down the loan. Okay, we need to go back over and handle those other companies. All right, so Rio here. He's only trading at 90%. How big is he? 10.5 billion. And here it is, 4 cents. He made 20 billion, and he made 50 billion roughly off of the futures. Wow, he borrowed a lot of money. Borrowed more than we paid back. We got to get this interest rate down so his swaps are profitable again. See, losses of 71 billion on the swaps. Okay, Nucor is 13 billion, and he needs 11 to buy that other one, whatever it was, Rio. So let's give him some money, and of course it's Irish, and he doesn't have any. He's got credit. Oh, he borrowed 123 billion, but it's still in his cash deal. All right, let's give. Let's see. Let's give 14 billion to Nucor and pay off our loan with the rest. All right, so we're going to buy Rio. Yeah, all the companies that we did the swaps with are now going broke. All right, and we've got some stock here we need to look at. He's in steel also. Oh, okay. We just need to liquidate him. For some reason that registered as a different company to me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and buy these back and then put the rest toward the loan. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, his earnings are going to be down now. And with this much of a market share, we probably ought to lower our growth rate. So let's lower our growth rate to, let's lower it all the way down to 1%. Let's make our R&D 8%, and let's freeze POHI here. Okay. All right, let's finish up with Honda. So let's see if we want these two here. So in this industry, we have Nissan America, who looks like he may be ready to sell. And all these are new entrants into the industry that we could snap up. So let's see, Nissan America's stock or target price is 42 something. Hang on. 42.78. So he's above his sale price. And I'm just going to verify it. Okay, right here. 27,515 times 5. 137, so he's above it. All right, so I think before I sell this off, we've been going for quite a while. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. And when we come back next time, we'll sell this off, re-enter the industry. And Arabian's price is going up rather than down. So we're still in a waiting game. The interest rate has climbed back up to 13, which is not good. And of course the index is going up again. But it's not an exact science, this stuff. We don't know what the exact formulas are for all this behind the scenes. But on a good note, silver and gold are both up, so we'll just keep hoping for the best. But we got to deal with these stocks, and a lot of bankruptcies are going to come our way in the next episode. We're still in a waiting game for Arabian to go down. So, I don't really know what to tell you. I didn't expect it to take this long. Arabian has been losing money, and we're continuing to drive him toward bankruptcy, and yet his price keeps going up. I don't really know how to explain that to you. So, we're just going to, it just can't continue forever. He's losing money. That's just all there is to it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like and share. Come back next time and we'll see how much more money we can make. Our net worth did climb. We're up to 125 trillion again. So I guess that's it for this time. Until next time, this is RakeM saying, have a good one.